G'day everyone, MasterAbbott here from CapsuleComputers.com. Today what we're going to be doing is running you through a game from Grip Game and published by Chillingo, and that is One Epic Game. Now, this one here is a little bit, how do I say it, it's a casual game and a platform mixed with a whole lot of different things like probably like Jetpack Joyride as well, mixture of everything kind of put together. It's very hard to explain, but I'm going to run you through it and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now I've got to say, basically this game, it's got a really cool storyline, but it's very hard and a little bit on the annoying side where you can pull your hair out guaranteed. Okay, so pretty much what I've done is I've gone through and completed the game. And that took a bit of time to do because I had to get used to it, the gameplay. It wasn't too complicated, but like I said, you got to get used to the way the game works. It's a little bit different from the other games that are out there at the moment, but it does take a little bit of elements from a whole lot of different games. Alright, so basically once you've completed the game, you get a free run. You can go in and do some challenges. You've got story mode, you've got Hall of Fame, which gives you high scores, options about, and the Crystal, which is like Game Center for Chillingo. Alright, so pretty much what I'll do is I'll run you through the story. The story is really funny, and it's been set up really well too. So as you can see here, look at that, brains. Then we got our hero, who comes out of here and goes, what the hell is this? A zombie outbreak? Oh, there was a hell of a party yesterday. So this guy's pretty cool, you know. He's our hero, and he's the guy you control. And I was not invited. All right, so pretty much this guy tells you a bit of a story, but I've got to tell you, the dialogue in this game is actually very funny. And the person that he's got to be taking, and the arch enemy nemesis in the game is also pretty funny too. All right, so what we do is I'm going to run you through the first section of the game. Why can't there be a single action game without zombies in it? So this guy's complaining about zombies, but you know, if you think about every game out there at the moment has some sort of element in zombies, so why not this one? So seriously, it's getting a little tedious. Ah, yes it is. Brains. Alright, so you're right, my green friend, I should have looked into this anyway. Alright, so here you go. So pretty much we'll continue on, and I'll run you through the first level. Alright, so I'm going to skip through this. Alright, so pretty much here it is here. This is what you get to see in the game, and this is what it pretty much is in a nutshell already. So I'm going to run you through the first section and probably a couple of sections after it, and you'll see exactly how hard it can possibly be. Now, welcome to the tutorial. We know you are awesome, but let's teach you a few tricks anyway. Alright, so as you can see here, you've got obstacles. Now, the way this game works is you do not control the character left and right. He's always running. So this is basically what's going to happen in the entire game. You've got different things, like you can get on jetpacks, which, as I said to you before, has a bit of an element of Jetpack Joyride, and everything else is jumping and running and avoiding and shooting down enemies, which also kind of feels a bit like Contra and also like Metal Slug. Alright, so pretty much that is everything. So as you can see, with this little obstacle here is something that you need to use to jump with. So jump, and as you can see, you're jumping over that. Now, there's also a few other things like gaps and places here on the screen there. If you fall in, you die. In the top right hand corner, you've got health, and as you can see, if you walk into something, you do get hurt. But if you fall into a hole, you die straight away, and you have to start from the beginning of the level or from a checkpoint. Now up the top as well, there's a timer, and as you can see, not a timer, a meter on how long you've gone. Some levels do require you have to do a specific amount of meters before you continue on, but some of them have to actually get your score points. And then top right left hand corner, as you can see, there's a star with no points. Alright, so that's here, we can jump over that one and continue on. Now there's also zombies over here, so let's click on that. You can shoot the zombies. Now that's one important thing, is you can also pick up weapons. And the one pretty much you're going to see here is going to be a machine gun, so I'm going to pick that one up now. So I can hold the button down and that brings up a machine gun. And also you can pick up health, which is a little heart. And it brings up the health, so you can also replenish your health. And that is the basics. Now try and run off. We're going to run off to the end of the level before we get killed. Alright, so now as you can see, basically there you go, there's the first section of me. I've even died even before in the tutorial, which is fantastic, isn't it? Alright, so let's run through this really quickly and I'll show you what the next level looks like. So when you do die, you lose your weapon, and you got a whole lot of different weapons to choose from. You got about not choose from, but to pick up along the way. You got a few that can be picked up. Probably my favourite is the flamethrower, and you got like the points in there. Here's a rocket launcher. Rocket launcher is good because it actually collects and homes in on enemies, as you can see right there. Alright, so pretty much that was the first level done. We just made it 300 meters. That was what it was meant to, that's what you're meant to do. It actually dies and cancels out like that. Not dies, it ends up like straight away like that. So that pretty much covers the first level. Now, as you can see, the dialogue in the game is really, really fun. It goes, hey, you there, I want to speak to whoever's in charge of the zombie outbreak. And here it is, that's me. So this guy, now they have a bit of a conversation. I've got to say, the best part of the game is, in my honest opinion, is the funny dialogue between the characters. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So these guys are, you know, either the hero and the villain. They talk to one another and tell each other off, and you know, talk in a really funny way, which is really, really cool. All right, so I'm going to jump out of that. Now the next section is in the game is. There are a few things you still need to know, so they're going to talk to us about it. Now, there's killing enemies. You can actually get chains. Now, as you can see, when I was shooting people, you could see like a little number counter above their heads. Now, this is very important in certain levels where you need to get a high chain and a high score rating, because if you're not, you're really going to be pulling your hair out. So you need to make sure that you try not to get hit, because if you get hit, you lose your weapon and you also lose your combo counter meter, which gives you a whole lot of good score. So you've got to try and get, as you can see, the chain. But also you've got to remember, do not shoot civilians, because in some levels you've got to shoot civilians, and so it just basically did. Don't shoot the cow, because if you shoot the cow, you lose points, and you don't want that to happen. Alrighty, so that's basically, I think, in a nutshell. Now the last thing you can pick up is a jetpack. So if we get the jetpack, we can jump and float in the air, as you can see right now. Alright, so that is it. Now, one thing I've got to tell you is, one thing I'm not very keen on and happy with is that certain things in the game, or certain levels, basically these levels are generated pretty much randomly, in my honest opinion, because some things come out of nowhere, and when you're playing it, there are certain things that you just pull your hair out completely, because you don't know how far you've got to jump to certain levels. You don't know how close to the next level, the next platform is. As you can see at the moment, this is really easy. But yeah, there you go. I just died straight away. It was very, very easy, my ass. But yeah, as you can see right now, so you can try and keep the combo meter up. But mainly the most important thing that I've noticed is that the platforming is very random and generated in a very funny way, because you don't know when everything comes up on the screen, and you don't know how far to jump. And as I was explaining to you before, it's a little bit complicated, because you don't know when, especially when it gets into the harder levels of the game. As you can see right now, I nearly died, because you've got to kind of time your jumps, and the longer you hold the button down, the further you can jump. Like the further you can jump, like really far away. You can do little short ones, you can do really long ones, and you can also do pretty much really quick tapping ones, so that you can jump over little things like that. There are certain levels where you got to like jump on monsters' heads, so you got to kind of make sure that you jump really quickly. This one's here like really long, so you got to make sure that you got to do really, you got to kind of actually time your jumps and do not die. Certain levels have checkpoints as well. Oh, there you go. Nearly died there. Now, okay, pretty much there you go. So that completes that level. Now, it can get a little bit annoying, as I was explaining to you before, because you don't know how the platforms get generated, how they come along to you in a specific way. So it can get a little bit frustrating. And as I said, if you got to kind of get used to it. And certain levels, in my honest opinion, you got to keep your combo count up high to complete the level. Alrighty, so that is it. Now, this one here completely has a certain objective. Some of them has complete the mission, complete the level, get to a certain number of meters traveled. Some of them is kill enemies, some of them is just jump on top of enemies' heads, some of them is use a jetpack and fly 300 meters. There's a whole lot of different objectives per each level. So that's this one here. So this one here is kill 15. I'm not going to do any more because you guys pretty much get the gist of the game. So I'm going to jump out and go out to the main menu. So I'm going to quit out of this. Alright, jump out, yes. Alrighty, so now as you can see, you've also, once you completed, you've also got a free run. Now the free run pretty much lets you run and go for as far as possible. Now it's fun. It's you know, if you like that sort of thing. Personally, I really couldn't handle certain levels because I just can't, you know, because basically if I want to compare it to something else, will be like, you know, Jetpack Joyride, where after a certain amount of time, you know, progression into the game, into the levels, certain levels, it just gets faster and faster and faster, and sometimes it just gets impossible to complete unless you keep your combo ratings up and you do it fast. So that's free run. So that could get, you know, that gets faster and faster and faster and faster. You've got challenges as well, which I was explaining to you before. So you got, like, for example, Savior. You got bronze, silver, and gold challenges, where, for example, you've got to run 100 meters with only 1 life, which is like a little heart bar. Then you got other things as well, like reach 50,000, reach 250,000, and reach 450,000. So it gets really, really hard. The challenges, I have to tell you, are very, very hard. So this another one here is run 500 meters and try not to kill anything. It's very, 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 very hard. Some of the challenges will keep you going for a while and will make you pull your hair out. And for myself, at one point in the time, I really wanted to throw the iPad out the window. But as I said, it's challenging, and and if you're after a challenging game that will keep you going for a while, this game is right up your alley. Now, there's also Hall of Fame. You also got, like, awards, different things you can do. Try and get all the achievements in a specific way. You've got free run, you've got the distance and how long the statistics are and everything here. And that is everything that you need to do. This game is very basic, it's not complicated. It's straight down to, you know, simple running, jumping, avoiding, shooting, and, you know, doing what you can without falling into holes, and that's pretty much it. So the story mode is very quick. It doesn't take too long. It's about probably, you know, if you get your hands on it, you'll be able to finish it in, you know, in an hour or two if you know what you're doing. And that's pretty much it. So, One Epic Game is available on the Apple iTunes Store. As I said, it's available right now. It's only 99 cents. It's from Chillingo and gripgames.com. So, if you want to pick up something that will keep you occupied for a couple of hours, and if you want to pick up and play and whatever, this is the game for you. So, thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, leave them on the post on YouTube. Like us if you like us, and that's it. Thank you for listening and watching. MasterAbbott signing out from CapsuleComputers.com.